Good evening and welcome to Emirates News. I'm Yunus Saif and we are broadcasting from Dubai. The headlines tonight. The President issues a federal decree to establish the Frontline Heroes Office. The Vice President launches official operations of Route 2020 project. In the business tonight, the UAE continues to move up the global driverless car readiness ranking. And in sport, the UFC president arrives in the UAE to join the athletes on Fight Island ahead of UFC's Abu Dhabi opener on Sunday. The President, His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, today issued a federal decree establishing the Frontline Heroes Office. The new entity will be chaired by the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi and Deputy Supreme Commander of the UAE Armed Forces, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, and will recognize and support the UAE's frontline workers in the long term. The decree stipulates that the office will have its own identity as well as financial and administrative independence. The Frontline Heroes Office aims to raise awareness of the key role played by the frontline workers during crises and emergencies by recognizing their efforts. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, UAE Vice President, Prime Minister and ruler of Dubai, today officially inaugurated the Route 2020 project. Also present was Deputy Ruler of Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Maktoum bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, and the Chairman of the Dubai Media Council, His Highness Sheikh Ahmed bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. Speaking on the occasion, Sheikh Mohammed said the UAE's journey towards sustainable development is backed by quality projects and an infrastructure that is globally acclaimed for its efficiency and reliability. Sheikh Mohammed also said that these projects that are developed by Emirati talent with the support of international expertise meet the highest global standards. The project is part of the RTA's master plan to provide integrated mass transit systems. Route 2020 will serve communities such as the Gardens, Discovery Gardens, Al Furjan, and the Expo 2020 site, which have a combined population of about 270,000. The project involves the 15-kilometer extension of the Dubai Metro Red Line from Jebel Ali Station to Expo 2020 station. The 11 billion dirham project, which links 7 stations, will be open to the public in September this year. Several other sheikhs and senior officials were also present at the launch. Dubai Crown Prince and Chairman of the Executive Council of Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, today launched the Dubai Cyber Index, an initiative aimed at supporting the efforts of Dubai government entities to ensure the highest standards of cybersecurity. The initiative will work toward establishing Dubai as the city with the safest cyberspace in the world. The introduction of the index highlights the Dubai leadership's keenness to launch projects and initiatives that enhance the Emirates' position as a global leader in innovation, safety, and security. The Minister of Cabinet Affairs, Mohammed Al Gargawi, says the cost of the Hope Mars mission reached $200 million, which is considered among the lowest in the world when compared with similar programs. Addressing a media briefing in Dubai, he detailed the achievements of the Emirates Mars mission team, including development of 200 new designs, manufacturing of 66 pieces of the probe's components in the UAE, publishing 51 research papers on the project, in addition to benefiting over 60,000 participants through the mission's scientific and academic programs. He praised the support given by the UAE leadership and said that the success of the mission follows the UAE's success in containing the virus. The UAE's Hope probe spacecraft has been encapsulated inside the rocket that will take it into space. It marks a critical milestone ahead of its liftoff from the Tanegashima Space Center in Japan on July 15th. The process helps to protect the satellite against extreme temperature and pressure during its journey. The process was overseen by a team of Emirati engineers at the launch site, along with their Japanese counterparts. About an hour after the launch, the probe will separate from the launch rocket and begin the 7-month journey towards the Red Planet using a propulsion system. The Hope probe is anticipated to enter Mars orbit in February 2021. The UAE today announced 445 new cases of COVID-19. This follows more than 51,000 additional tests that have recently been carried out. The Ministry of Health and Prevention also reported 568 more recoveries. Sadly, one more individual succumbed to the virus. Taking a look at numbers globally, and there are now over 11.8 million people infected with COVID-19 around the world. That's the latest from Johns Hopkins University, who say more than 544,000 people have died from the coronavirus. The U.S. leads the number of infections with just under 3 million confirmed cases and over 131,000 fatalities. Brazil has the second highest number of infections with over 1.6 million and a death toll of more than 66,000. India's rising numbers has taken the nation to third place globally with close to 743,000 infections and more than 20,000 deaths. Meanwhile, Russia has recorded nearly 700,000 confirmed cases and the death toll of over 10,000. And Peru is the fifth worst affected country in the world with more than 309,000 confirmed cases and close to 11,000 fatalities. Emirates passengers arriving from certain countries will have to present a negative COVID-19 test result before boarding their flights to Dubai. The airline says that travelers from Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Egypt, India, Iran, Pakistan, the Philippines, Russia, Tanzania and the US will need to provide certificates that were issued no more than 96 hours before their departure. Dubai started welcoming back tourists yesterday with safety measures in place across the Emirate. The last COVID-19 patient has been discharged from the Dubai World Trade Center Field Hospital. This comes after the facility shut to make way for Dubai Sports World this summer. The patient was able to walk out of the temporary clinic after receiving his test results, which came back negative. In a video posted by the Dubai Media Office, the Japanese patient talked about his experience defeating the virus. DWTC's field hospital was among several centers established to meet the needs of COVID-19 patients at the peak of the virus. In other news, a car thief has been detained in Dubai by 2 officers on horseback. The duo from Dubai Mounted Police Division were patrolling the knife area when they were alerted about the car theft. Within 25 minutes of the crime being reported, they managed to scan the area, find the vehicle, identify the suspect and arrest him. The suspect has been referred to the Dubai Public Prosecution for further investigation. Last year, the UAE recorded 448 traffic deaths and more than 8 million speeding fines were handed out to the country's motorists. More than 8.7 million road users were fined last year for speeding, and about 55,000 were caught trying to jump red lights. The data shows that Abu Dhabi topped the list with 5 million fines issued for speeding offences. Meanwhile, in Dubai, 2 million fines were issued to drivers who failed to obey speed limits. As for fatalities, 282 people were involved in collisions and 105 people were run over. However, statistics show that the number of road fatalities dropped from 2018, when 468 fatalities were recorded. Officials say the fall in numbers was due to upgraded traffic control measures, including better road signs, improved road surfaces, and speed restrictions. Parents in the UAE are being warned about violent electronic games that can make their children and teenagers aggressive and commit crimes. The Abu Dhabi police says that the serious effects of these games include addiction, isolation, and separation from reality. According to experts, children often try to imitate what they see and violence may become a way to pass their time. Parents should monitor their children and intervene in their choice of games and e-applications, especially during these summer holidays. And finally, the French Embassy in Abu Dhabi will celebrate France's National Day through the Embassy's website and on social media channels, keeping in line with the current safety measures and public health recommendations. The one-hour event is open to all and will be streamed on the mission's Facebook and Twitter accounts on the 14th of July. Today marks the 5th anniversary of the Sawab Center, the digital communication hub to counter extremist propaganda. To date, it has launched nearly 50 awareness campaigns via its platforms, and the total number of impressions across its platforms has reached over 1 billion. The center works to counter and correct misinformation via social media. We'll have to pause now for a short break, but also up next is today's business, and the UAE continues to move up the global driverless car readiness ranking. Stay with Emirates News. Welcome back to Emirates News. Our top story tonight. The President today issued a federal decree establishing the Frontline Heroes Office that will recognize and support the UAE's frontline workers in the long term. Time now for the business. The UAE continues to climb the driverless car readiness index, featuring in the top 10 for the third year in a row, ahead of the UK and Denmark. Despite the pandemic, global regulation, testing and investment in the driverless car market, it has kept pace and is set to reach a new level of standing. This year, the UAE was ranked 8th, performing well in technology, infrastructure, and the willingness of its people and government to embrace driverless cars.
Welcome. Where would you like to go today?
Dubai Land Department has launched its new Invest in Dubai initiative, which highlights the Emirates' position in globally attracting investors to its real estate sector. The initiative also aims to bring together UAE-based developers, investors and brokers, linking them with investors from around the world through a virtual platform. Now, many businesses continue to be impacted by the global COVID-19 pandemic. For the bottled water industry, their supply channels have altered but remain robust. Alexander Van Driet is CEO of My Dubai LLC. He joins us on the line. Alexander, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Yunus. Thank you for inviting me to the show.
Pleasure, pleasure. Now tell us, how has the fresh bottled water business here in Dubai been impacted by the coronavirus?
Well, based on our observations and market data, I can say that the bottled water industry in Dubai, in the UAE, has not really significantly been affected by the outbreak. Water is an essential product, so sales continues and the delivery of our service happens without much disruptions. But I must say that we did see shifts in where we sell.
Now, Alexander, can you tell us a little bit about the numbers, maybe that how the numbers were affected, if not sales somehow?
Yeah, sure. What we saw is that in the beginning of the pandemic, we saw about a spike of about 30% increase our sales units. Okay. And that was mainly because people were a little bit concerned and they started hoarding product. Mm-hmm. And then in the month afterwards, that came down again and we're back to, if you will, normal levels right now.
Tell us, what have been the biggest changes to your business model since the onset of the pandemic?
Well, I think that the biggest shift that we have seen is where we sell. In that, small shops sold less, restaurants, of course, were closed, offices where we deliver and schools, those sales disappeared. But on the other hand, because of the pandemic, the modern trade, so the large supermarkets, e-commerce and home delivery really boomed for us.
Now, COVID-19 has taught all of us important environmental lessons. What's your advice for conserving water?
Well, at My Dubai, we believe that the use of advanced technologies plays a significant role in water conservation. So, for instance, our production facilities, they really minimize the wastage of water, and they're really the best in class in the field. Also, we do a lot of recycling of wastewater, unused water, for irrigation, for cleaning, and for cooling purposes even. So sustainability has always been key for My Dubai. We have a very active environmental sustainability program. Not in the least, we're running fully on solar power, which I believe no other water company of our size does in the world. We are really unique in the UAE that way.
Alexander Van Triet, all the best, and again, thank you for joining us. Dubai Trade has introduced the UAE's first electronic delivery order, which offers a solution to handle a single window for cross-border trade, imports from any computer screen. The new system means shipping agents, freight forwarders, and cargo owners can upgrade to a digitized process, doing away with the over-the-counter operations that entail physical visits. You can find out more online at dubaitrade.ae. The Safine Tiger ship has made its maiden call to Abu Dhabi at Khalifa port on an inaugural voyage from India. The vessel is part of a new joint venture between Abu Dhabi Port's Safine feeders and the Bengal Tiger Line. The ship will call at 9 regional ports located across the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Pakistan, and Western India. In the sport, and preparations are continuing in Abu Dhabi ahead of Sunday's UFC Fight Island event. UFC President Dana White arrived in the capital earlier today to oversee final preparations following his own quarantine requirements. The 4-event series will take place at a purpose-built arena on Yas Island at the heart of a strict 12-kilometer safe zone. Sunday's revised headline clash will see Jorge Masvidal challenge champion Kamaru Usman for the title. The UAE national football team are to hold 3 camps ahead of their Crunch World Cup qualifiers later this year. The Whites will host Malaysia in their first match on resumption on October 8th. They currently lie 4th in Group G, which also acts as a qualification for the AFC Asian Cup to be held in China in 2023. New coach Jorge Luis Pinto expects to put his squad through 3 camps across July, August, and September. The squad will be announced over the next few days. Staying with local football, and both Al Jazeera and Al Ain have boosted their squads with new signings ahead of the start of the new season, which gets underway on September 3rd. Al Jazeera have brought back former Moroccan international Abdelaziz Barada, who last played for the club in 2013-2014. The 30-year-old is a product of French club Paris Saint-Germain, where he trained as a youngster. Meanwhile, Al Ain have announced the signing of young Brazilian defender Eric Jorgens. The 19-year-old left-back joins former AFC Champions League winners Al Ain from Porto Alegre Internacional on a 3-year deal. Staying with football, and there was drama in Italy's Serie A last night. Zlatan Ibrahimovic penalty sparked a remarkable AC Milan comeback victory against title-chasing Juventus at the San Siro. After an uneventful first half, Milan scored 4 second-half goals, having gone 2-0 down to Juve. Ibrahimovic's 62nd minute penalty offered hope, and after that Milan went on a goal-scoring spree, coming out of the game with a victory of 4-2. And the eyes of sporting world are on Southampton in the UK today. The city will be hosting the first international cricket game since the start of the global COVID lockdown. Cricket's post-lockdown existence begins with a test series between England and the West Indies. Things will be a bit different. There'll be no fans, no shining the ball, regular sanitation breaks, and no handshakes or close contact celebrations. England will have a new captain, and the West Indies will have a number of new faces.
When it comes to saliva, we'll have to win.
And with that, we end tonight's bulletin. Thanks for watching. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Dubai One TV. We'll be back again tomorrow. But for now, have a great evening.